Hello, welcome back to another episode of Anchors My Way, where we explore everything cruising. I'm your host, Shakira, and today we're diving into a topic many of you have asked: is it better to do a short cruise or a long cruise? Well, whether you're a seasoned sailor or a cruiser for the first time, in this episode, I will help you navigate your options. Let's start with a short cruise, which is usually 1 to 3 to maybe sometimes 4 days. These quick getaways are perfect for those who want to enjoy a cruising experience without committing to a whole long 1 week cruise. The reason why I say this is because a lot of people do not like to be enclosed in just one space. Although when you're cruising, you're not really enclosed into one piece. Usually on this typical 3 to 5 day cruises, you have at least 2 port days. So you board up the ship, so you're not entirely locked in a ship. Some people are like, no, I don't like cruises. Why not? Well, because I can't go anywhere. I'm trapped. But that's not entirely true, especially if you do a short cruise. They usually have to involve at least 1 or 2 ports. So you're not trapped at all, basically. On the contrary, I think that you don't have enough time to appreciate the ship because you have these 2 ports that you are getting off on, so you're missing out on seeing the ship. One of the biggest advantages of a short cruise is the convenience. Many cruise lines offer these quick trips for major ports, making it very easy for busy people, busy professionals like me, and for some families to escape on long weekends. Some people don't have the time off, kids have school, so this is the perfect opportunity to enjoy a little bit of a good vacation. I remember my first cruise. It was a short trip to the Bahamas. It was only 4 days, but it felt like a full vacation. That's why I fell in love with this type of vacation. We set sail on a Friday. Saturday morning, we were already at the beach. It was incredible, a way to decompress and to be able to enjoy a little bit of the ship and at the same time be able to discover new islands. Short cruises often feature packed itineraries, so you can enjoy a mixture of shows, dining experiences, and fitness classes, while you're also exploring interesting ports. For instance, many Caribbean cruises stop at multiple islands, allowing you to spot a little bit of a sample of everything. However, this is fast-paced and it can have its downsides. You might feel rushed, and if you try to squeeze all the activities and all the excursions into one, you might feel a little bit overwhelmed. And with only 1 day or 2 into each port, you might feel leaving like you're barely scratched the surface of this place. So it really depends on your taste. It depends on how you like to do it. According to a recent survey that I read, nearly 30% of cruisers prefer short cruises because they're more flexible, easier to plan, and this trend has prompted cruise lines to offer more shorter cruises. For example, Royal Caribbean created Utopia to make it the big weekend tour, which I recently experienced. And a lot of more cruise lines are doing this because not everybody had the time to take off. So these cruise options are, really great for people like me that don't have all the time to be able to go on one-week cruises all the time. They're including themed short cruises focused on music, food, adventures, so it's a great idea. Now let's discuss a little bit about the cruises that are long. The long cruises, which typically span from a week to 9 days, sometimes up to 14 days, these journeys can be incredibly rewarding. They offer a chance to explore and unwind at multiple destinations. Don't get confused. Majority of them also only offer 1 day per port. The benefit of it is that since you have more days at sea or more days in the ocean, you most likely get to see the ships more detailed. One of the most significant benefits of a long cruise is the relaxed pace. With the more days at sea, you can fully indulge on board amenities. Think about it. You have ample time to try restaurants, attend enrichment lectures, and maybe even catch a Broadway show. Everybody loves Broadway shows. So I once took a 7-day itinerary to the Mediterranean cruise that changed my perspective of travel. We went to Italy and Spain. It was a truly experience of each place. The ship had several days at sea, which gave me time to unwind by the pool, see all the activities, and meet wonderful people. Long cruises often include unique ports that short cruises can't reach due to distance. Imagine being able to spend a day in a city like Barcelona or Athens, allowing you to explore leisure at your own pace. Some cruises even offer overnight stays. For example, MSC does overnight stay at private islands, and I believe Bermuda is also one of the ports that, because of distance, ships prefer to stay overnight and not have to get out of it in a rush. So those are ports that you would definitely need more than 3 days. You cannot do 3-day cruises to Bermuda. They don't exist because of the distance and because of its location. So that's one of the things that I love long cruises. Long cruises do require more planning. You do have to think about your work commitments, your family schedules, and of course, your budget. Longer voyages can be pricier, especially when you're considering additional costs, excursions, and specialty dining, Wi-Fi, and your bar tab can add up more than 3 days. And also your bar tab, for example, can add up. It's a difference in pricing between 3 days of drinking and 7 days of drinking can vary out. So you have to consider all that. Interesting, very interesting, recent data shows that about 40% of cruises are opting for longer voyages. This trend reflects the desire for deeper travel experiences among the cruisers, where people want to immerse themselves in new culture rather than just scratch the surface of an island. So it's really up to you. Talk about the experience. Short cruises can be a great introduction to the cruising lifestyle, especially if you're unsure of whether you like being at sea or not. I feel like it's a really good taster. If you're nervous about seasickness or the overall experience, a short cruise is a low-risk way to test the waters. On the other hand, long cruises offer a chance of unique experiences. Many cruises provide voyages focusing on wellness, food, specific cultures, so you can enjoy things as cooking classes, dance lessons, or participate in workshops that you might not be able to do in shorter trips. So it's really up to you. On that Mediterranean cruise, we had a wine tasting event that everyone loved. I don't do wine, but the person I went with, she loved it. So it was amazing that we did the wine tasting and they told us about different regions in Europe. It was such an enriching experience that I don't think I would have been able to do on a 3-day cruise. So that you don't get to enjoy on a shorter itinerary. Another opportunity on longer cruises, you have the luxury of time to build relationships with fellow passengers and crew. Imagine sharing meals, attending shows, and participating in activities every day together. It kind of bonds better. You might even end up with lifelong friendships. I actually met 2 of my good friends that travel with me most of the time on a cruise. So it's really, but it was a 1-week cruise. It's really something that everyone should consider doing at some point of their lives if they really like cruising. So how do I decide between a long and a short cruise? A few considerations might help you make the best choice for your situation. First, think about your schedule. That's really important. If you have a busy work life or you can only manage long weekends, a short cruise might be your best option. But if you can take time off and do a longer voyage, you could be offered a lot of other rewarding experiences. Another thing to consider is budget. You need to consider what the pricing would be for a 3-day cruise and the pricing would be for a 7 or 10-day cruise. There's a difference here, so it really depends on your budget. Short cruises are generally more affordable, making them accessible for many travelers. Long cruises, while pricier, often include more amenities and excursions, which can provide an overall better value. If you're traveling with a family, maybe a cruise group, you need to consider their preferences too. Some might prefer fast-paced excitement or a short cruise, while others might relish the chance to relax and explore on longer journeys. It's depending on the situation. If you opt for a short cruise, here's some tips to maximize your experience. Plan your itinerary. Very, very important. You've only got 3 days, so you have to take advantage of every minute. Every minute counts. Know the highlights of your cruise, what you want to see on each port when you arrive. Pack wisely. Bring versatile clothing to suit your different activities and the weather. Book excursions in advance. Because it's a short cruise, popular excursions can be filled up quickly, so reserve your spot in advance. If you're leaning towards a long cruise, then you should consider this tip. Research activities on board. Look for enrichment programs, cooking classes, fitness workshops, something of your interest. There's something for everyone, believe me. Pace yourself. Don't try to do everything all at once or the first few days. Get accustomed to the ship, get to know the ship, walk around, feel the nature of the ship so that way you can know where everything is, and that way when you're going to go to the venues, you're not completely lost and all, exhausted from walking around. Allow time to relax. Engage with your fellow passengers, get to know other people's opinion. Most likely people do things on different days, so you might get their opinions and go from there. So you can strike up conversations during meals, activities, and you might discover that you have some shared interests. And just go along with the ship's flow. Try to do all the activities, but don't try to cram them up. Try to relax so that you make your experience better. So what's my final point? Short cruises are fantastic for spontaneously budget-friendly escapes and a quick taste of cruising. But long cruises offer deep relaxation and a chance to truly immerse yourself in your destination. Whichever your option is to choose, the most important thing, as I always say, is to enjoy your journey, making it last forever. Memories are forever. So travel is about experiencing, and both type of cruises always offer something special. Now I want to hear from you. Have you taken a short cruise or a long cruise? What are your experiences like? Feel free to share your story on my social media page, and we can interact there. I really hope I was able to help you on making a decision whether you should do a long or a short cruise. It doesn't matter what you choose as long as your journey is fulfilled. Thank you for joining me. In my next episode, I'll be discussing my journey through all the Caribbean islands I've been to. An interesting episode. It has a little bit of everything. So see you in the next episode.